Hello learners, this is Habiba with Excel with me. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Let's start today's class, that is UGC NET Paper 2 Education Unit 3 Learner and Learning Process with the subtopic Approaches to Intelligence from Unitary to Multiple Metacognition. Let's understand what is metacognition. Meta means beyond thinking. That is thinking about thinking. That is metacognition. Let's go in detail. Introduction. Metacognition refers to thinking about thinking and was presented as an idea by John Flavel, who is ordinarily seen as an establishing researcher of the field. Flavel said that metacognition is the information you have of your own psychological cycles, that is your thinking, in the year 1979. Meta means beyond, cognition means thinking, beyond thinking, thinking about thinking. Then what is metacognition? Let's see the meaning. Metacognition is the way toward pondering one's own reasoning and learning. That means I know, when I don't. Then thinking about, rethinking, summarizing, asking questions, make some connections, all these towards pondering one's own reasoning and learning, that is metacognition. It is your capacity to control your thoroughly considering measures, different procedures, for example, putting together, observing and adjusting. Furthermore, it is your capacity to ponder the errands. Errands is a short journey undertaken in order to deliver or collect something, especially on someone else's behalf, or cycles you attempt, and to choose and use the suitable techniques fundamental in your intercultural communications. So, it is the capacity thoroughly considering some measures in different procedures, that is putting together all the things or observing things and adjusting in the environment. Then metacognition is viewed as a basic part of effective learning. It includes self-guideline and self-impression of qualities, shortcomings and the kinds of methodologies you make. It is a vital establishment in socially canny authority, since it underlines how you thoroughly consider an issue or circumstance and the procedures you make to address the circumstance or issue. That is, metacognition is viewed as a basic effective learning. If you have the power of thinking about thinking, that is learning effectively. That means it includes you are guiding yourself. You are giving yourself impressions. Quality should be good, qualitative self impressions, and thinking about the shortcomings and the kinds of methodologies we will use to think about different things. So many individuals become acquainted with having coaches and experts give them information about societies to where they are subject to the mentor, guide mentor or specialist. In any case, they need to figure out how to be specialists in social circumstances themselves through metacognitive techniques. For example, adjusting, observing, self-guideline and self-reflection. Socially wise pioneers can utilize metacognition to help themselves and to prepare themselves to thoroughly consider their reasoning. All the people will not have this metacognitive power. That means some people, some individuals, what they will do, they take the help of others who have this ability. They take some mentors and guides. But the persons who are self-directed and who have the observing and adjusting power and can guide themselves and have the self-reflection of what they are doing, critically thinking about themselves, they will have this metacognition towards having solutions to the problems in life. They will have the reasoning power. They will think themselves, not unlike other individuals who hire the experts or guides to guide them. Metacognition is broken down into three components. Number one, metacognitive knowledge, that is which includes in learning measures and your convictions about how you learn and how you think others learn. So metacognitive knowledge, that means having the power of thinking about thinking, that is learning measures, how we can learn, and also think about how others learn. Next one, the errand of learning and how you measure data, that means about on behalf of other persons, thinking and measuring the data. The procedures you create and when you will utilize them, that means whatever metacognitive knowledge you have, what are the procedures you will apply and create and utilize them in future. Let us say you have to learn a new language in 6 months. Here is how you would think about it using metacognitive knowledge. Let's see through some example here how you will handle how to learn a new language. First, what you will do? Learning process. You should have some learning process. I am acceptable at learning new dialects and I want to do this in the time span I have been given. What will be the process for you? I will accept that I can have the ability to learn new knowledge in given particular time. Then task of learning. Second step, to complete this task, I will need to think about the following. What are those? How before long would I be able to get data to begin learning the language? That means how much time I will take to gather the data through which I will learn the language. Then what amount of time will it require for me to gain proficiency with the language? What is the time bond of learning any language? Then what data is accessible to me to gain proficiency with this new dialect? So what are the accessibility? How can I get the proficiency with the dialect or accessibility? How can I get accessibility to that? Then is this language like a language I have learned previously? I will think, do I be able to learn this language so easily how I have learned my own mother tongue or language? The doubt will arise in the mind. Then can I get familiar with the language on schedule? Whatever time bond is given, will I be able to do that on time? How hard will it be for me to gain proficiency with this language? How I will think about this also. What do I have to do to gain proficiency with the language? So what all things I have to do to get the proficiency of the language. Then lastly, I will have some strategies. I think learning new dialect will take me a year, yet I just have a half year to get ready. So in mind I will think all these things. It may get 1 year, but I have to complete it in half year. I better discover alternate approaches to meet this objective. So I will think about alternatives so that I can complete in half year. I figure I will see whether there is a sped up language class that I can take. That means speedily I can take some class through which I can learn the language. Perhaps I ought to consider recruiting a private coach. Maybe sometimes I will think I can take a private coach so that I can learn the language so fast and easily. Or possibly I will simply zero in on learning the rudiments of the language. I may have the ability, I may not have the ability. So metacognitive experience. What is metacognitive experience? Let's understand. Arnold Bennett, a British author, said that one cannot have information without having emotions in the year 1933. In metacognition, there are sentiments and feelings present that are identified with the objectives and assignments of learning. These parts of metacognition addresses metacognitive experience, which is your inward reaction to learning. So Arnold Bennett, what he says, British author, that is, we in metacognition, emotions are, without having emotions we cannot dealt with any information. There are some sentiments and feeling, he says, present and identified to assign any learning, assignments of learning. So these metacognitive, these are all the metacognitive experiences which are inward reaction of our learning. So inwardly we are reacting ourselves. So feelings and emotions are in us which lead to the reactions to any particular learning. So we have to understand your sentiments and feelings fill in as in input framework to assist you with understanding your advancement and assumptions and your cognizance and association of new data to the old in addition to other things. So this metacognitive experience is very, very important to assume things and understanding things in advance, also associating new data to the old one and adding other things also. So let's see what is metacognitive strategies. Metacognitive strategies are what you design to monitor your progress related to your learning and the tasks at hand. It is a mechanism for controlling your thinking, activities, and to ensure you are meeting your goals. So obviously every person should have some strategies to be applied in life, so you can have better life. What is this strategy? To always design something which will be better and have some monitor and what is the progress of that, your learning or your tasks. It is a mechanism to control your thinking and activities so that you will meet your goals. Now let's conclude this topic. It concludes knowing when you know, knowing when you don't have a clue, and realizing what to do when you don't have a clue. Excellently explained here. What is this metacognitive thinking? It includes knowing when you want to know, knowing when you don't have any clue, knowing something when you don't have any clue, and realizing what to do. That is thinking what I should do when you don't have any clue. That is metacognitive thinking. As such, it includes self-checking and rectifying your own learning measures. For instance, you participate in metacognition in the event that you notice that you are experiencing more difficulty learning idea A than idea B. Or on the other hand, on the half off chance that you understand that your way to deal with tackling an issue isn't working and you choose to attempt an alternative methodology. Obviously, what is this experience, metacognitive experience? When you are having any difficulty in idea A, what you will do? You will go for move to idea B. Otherwise, off chance, what you will do? You will understand how to deal or tackle with the issue when it is not working. You will choose to attempt an alternative method so that you can win over that problem. Metacognition additionally includes knowing yourself as a student. That is, knowing your qualities and shortcomings as a student. For instance, on the off chance that you can clarify what your qualities are in scholastic composition or test taking or different sorts of scholarly undertakings, then at that point you are metacognitively mindful. That means if you are a student, academically, if you want to excel, then what you will do? You will take some tests. You will have some scholarly undertakings. Then that means you are metacognitively mindful. Metacognitive processes can be applied to learning and thinking in all disciplines and concepts. Obviously, in each discipline, you can have this metacognitive process. It is an essential skill for lifelong learning, and therefore, metacognitive skills need to be taught and discussed with students. Obviously, these skills are not always inbuilt. We can teach the students also about these skills, and we can discuss about the students, which are very, very essential for lifelong learning. So we come to the end of this session. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Thanks for your attention and time. Happy learning.